What up, gamers? I'm Jason.
I'm Julie.
And today on Dice and Dragons, we are going to be venturing back into the world of Cthulhu Death May Die, as we're going to take a look at all of the currently released retail expansions. Now, this little guy did come in the Unspeakable box for us, but we are reviewing Season 2, Yog-Sothoth, and the Black Goat of the Woods. Now, once again, this expansion is designed by Eric M. Lang and Rob Daviau, the designers of the base game. And it is once again published by CMON Games, or Cool Mini or Not. I'm not calling them Come On. I just can't do it. It drives me nuts. But now Julie will tell you more about the game itself.
Like the base game, it's cooperative. It is intended for ages 14 and above. Plays 1 to 5 players in 90 to 120 minutes. I was going to say 100, but it's more like 2 hours.
Yeah, I would say that with regards to like the player count, we've played a lot of the game now. I'd say it's more about an hour with 2 players. And the game does play very well at just 2 investigators, unlike its cousin Zombicide.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are you doing in Cthulhu Death May Die? Well, if you're checking out this for the first time, there's going to be a card popping up in front of Julie's face that will take you back to our review and how to play of the base game. But in this game, you're going to be trying to stop some crazy cultists who like to do things like have rituals at campfires or in bank vaults for some reason, in order to stop them from summoning an Elder One and just in general bringing lots of problems to the world. So you're going to pick an investigator and try to save the day. So with that being said, Julie, what time is it?
Well, it's time to grab our drinks. Lift it above the big box.
Grab our best friend.
Okay, take it to the table.
We're going to take it to the table. I'm glad we're getting back to this already. This has been, it's been a fun experience so far.
Yeah, Cthulhu is scary looking, but...
All of the monsters are scary looking. But you still agree to play it, so that tells you that's a little bit of a hint, folks. Now let's take a look at the components for Season 2 of Cthulhu Death May Die. After this, we'll move on to the 2 Elder One boxes, and that will cover all of the current content available at retail. Now you'll notice there are no rule books. You really just get new content with this game. We do get some new tiles. If I'm not mistaken, we get tiles 19 through 25. So we get another really long one, some mid-sized ones, a couple smaller ones here, as well as tile 21. You're going to be needing these for the new scenarios. Now, Season 2 does come with 6 new episodes. We'll just take a quick look at them here. We've got Strange Bedfellows, Episode 1, Nameless Woods, Episode 2, Sanctifier Nomen, Episode 3. Place those back down. And then here we've got Shootout at the HP Corral, Episode 4, Monsters in Sin City, Episode 5, and Endgame, Episode 6. And that's everything that you get in Cthulhu Death May Die Season 2. Now, for those of you that are just wondering what's in the box, you do see the contents of the box on the back. Now, we haven't quite got to this one yet. We may have actually gone to it by the time we do the review, but we're just covering the components right now, and I wanted to do it while some of the stuff is still sealed. As you can see, what you get in the box is Mythos cards, Discovery cards. You've got the setup, which has the explanations for the scenario on the back, as well as the monster cards. So, that's an interesting name, Buckrug. And then any tokens that are specific to the scenario. So that's what is included in every episode box, in case you haven't watched our review and how to play of Death May Die, and you're catching up with us on just this Season 2 review. Now, we also get a slew of new monsters. Now, I don't know the names for all of them by heart. I'm just going to try to straighten that out because it's driving me nuts. Here we've got the Star Vampire. Once again, a lot of really cool detail in the miniature. Here, I believe, is what we just looked at, the Buckrug. A lot of texturing as well, so if you're a painter, all of these will be fun to paint. Now, not sure who this guy is, but he's definitely a very scary character. We've got this slug-like creature here. Almost looks like those fire vampires from season 1, but different. Here we've got some new smaller minis, the Chochos. Now these are similar to like the deep ones or the ghouls. They're the sort of new foot soldier type. Here we've got a very awesome and awesomely detailed miniature. The Elder thing, I really like the way that it came out. And I like how it's this creepy sort of tree almost. Here we've got the Night Gaunts, which have that gargoyle-like nature, but just the way that they're like more decrepit and long arms here are very terrifying. Now, not sure what this guy is. He's absolutely scary, but once again, you can see all the detail on the mini itself. And then lastly, the other enemy type we get are the polyps. We do get a whole slew of new investigators, so we'll take a look at them quickly. Now, just a reminder, you do get your specific, well, investigator-specific ability at the top there. So here we've got Mary. Oh, seems like some of these decided to go. Mary decided that she was going to join the party a little out of order. All right, let's fix this up and keep going. So we've got Mary, Adila, whose special ability is Voodoo. She's a very cool character. We've got Tony, Marguerite, Helia, Luke, Mario, Alex, Sam, Ariel, and those are all of the new investigators. Now, I've got all their minis right below. Let's see if I can remember all the names. So here is Adila. Solid, I love the spear. She's very cool. We've got Mario hanging out at the back here with his police uniform. Not the most detailed mini, but I do like the fact that there is that sort of police badging and stuff right on his chest. If you're a great painter, I'm sure you can do some good stuff with that. Here we've got Mary. It's very cool. The Sleuth, Alex, holding the 2 guns. We've got Helia, the Oracle. She's probably the least detailed mini when it comes to ones for characters. We've got Tony here, and he looks a little different. He's not standing in that same pose that he was on his character sheet. We've got Sam, Luke, the Holy Man, and for whatever reason, this mini just makes me think Jean-Luc Picard. The way he's bald, the facial structure. Try to bring him closer to the camera. Not sure how that's going to render, but that's who he makes me think of. We got Marguerite, who looks fairly terrifying as a butcher wielding twin knives. Kind of reminds me of Beth, the Scary Nun. And lastly, we've got Ariel, who is our hunter character. And there you have it. That's all the content that you're going to get in Season 2 of Cthulhu Death May Die. Now we're going to take a look at the Black Goat of the Woods, as well as Yog-Sothoth, and then Julie and I will come back at you with a review of these expansions. Now let's take a look at the components for the Black Goat of the Woods Elder 1 box, as well as the Yog-Sothoth Elder 1 box. We'll start with the Black Goat. Here we've got this massive Elder one who's got tentacles coming out of everywhere. It's really unsettling. Here we've got the 6 Dark Youngs that come with them. So they're all the same sculpt and fairly terrifying looking as well. As you can see, they're very well textured. Should make for a great painting experience for those of you that paint. We get the monster card. So of course, they're being joined by cultists and Dark Young when you're facing the Black Goat. And then we've got his Elder 1 card, stage 1 through the final stage. I'll try not to reveal or talk too much about what this Elder 1 does. Keep it a secret. But we'll take a look at the Mythos cards. So we do get the 8 new Mythos cards. So this one, Dark Young Strike. Each Dark Young moves 2 spaces towards you, and someone's another Dark Young. This one deals each Dark Young a wound and places a fire token. So, as you can see, some nasty stuff. Who likes Mythos cards in any Cthulhu game? Now here we've got Yog-Sothoth. So we've got this disgusting guy, and that's pretty much the best way that I can put it is he's gross. This blob of just stuff everywhere. Now, once again, very detailed. I do much prefer the Wilbur Wheatley miniature. As you can see with all the texture and everything on him, he'd be a lot of fun to paint if I had the time for that type of thing. Now, we also do get tokens with Yog-Sothoth, as he can create some gates, and those are not fun. I'll just leave it at that. We'll talk about a lot of this stuff more in our review. Here we've got the monster cards, so the cultist and Wilbur Wheatley. And then, of course, we have the Elder One cards, stage 1 through his final stage. And lastly, we'll take a quick look at the Mythos cards. So this one, the key in the gate, place a random Yog gate, take a token in your space, or lose 2 sanity. Plus, you got to summon a cultist, meaning if it was a blue gate, you'd have to summon a cultist on top of yourself. That's not fun. Move each cultist 1 space towards you. Each investigator in a space with a gate loses 1 sanity. And as those things move around, also got to summon cultists on red. Oof. Not fun stuff in these Mythos cards. There you have it. We've taken a look at all the retail expansions now that are available for Cthulhu Death May Die. Now, we did get Yog-Sothoth in our Unspeakable box. So if you happen to be watching that review or you've seen it before this one, that's why you've seen him twice. So now Julie and I will be coming back at you with our review of these expansions. So Cthulhu Death May Die, Season 2, and the Elder One boxes. What did you think of the game? Now, which do you want to talk about first? You can just point whichever one. You know, we've got everything nicely set up in front of us, kind of doing the DJ thing.
Well,
here.
the Elder Ones, the Black Goat was quite a doozy.
I think that it may be the most challenging Elder One that we faced yet.
Yeah, we died rather quickly the first attempt.
Yeah, that did not go at all in our favor. Just like we probably picked we picked season 2, episode 1, and as we're playing it, I'm like, this is kind of fitting in the woods. Black Goat of the Woods. Yeah, no, it was a little too fitting. It really benefited that goat.
Yeah, so it was really tough. Lost very quickly. Then we played it again, and can't remember. Oh, I won this. You died this time, and I killed.
Yes,
I didn't
Luke
win. We both won, but
yeah, Luke sacrificed himself so that your oracle would succeed.
Yes, so we. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the. I have to say also I enjoyed. Now we're going to the season, but so I don't know if you want to add anything else on the Elder Ones. They're scary. The Black Goat was definitely difficult. I didn't find. I can't remember Yog-Sothoth.
Yog-Sothoth. I think so.
He belongs in a Star Wars. Yuck.
I don't know.
I'm thinking of Jar Jar.
Yeah, no, really, not even closely related. Don't know where that came from.
Anyways, he's not as. I thought he was a little easier.
I definitely think the Yog-Sothoth is a little easier, and it's interesting because you got to think that this one came in the Unspeakable box, so it seems balanced around, being playable for almost everyone that got the Kickstarter, got the game, whereas this one definitely feels like it's more for people that went for a challenge. Now, I do really enjoy all of these Elder Ones, and we are going to start talking about Season 2, but I would definitely say if you're buying Season 2, you need to buy these. And one of my, we might as well just start talking about it now. So my major critique about Season 2 is that there are no Elder Ones in the box. Being that we got the all-in Kickstarter, we got everything. We even have another Elder One that is only in the Unspeakable box. So we've got a fair bit of variety. Whereas if you just had Cthulhu Death May Die and you bought Season 2, you still have only Hastur and Cthulhu. Well, that definitely lowers the variety a considerable amount. And I get why they're not in here in terms of pricing and things like that, but
for a challenge perspective, and
yeah.
I mean, we'll get to our rating later, but I definitely think from a challenge perspective, if wanting to one up the game, you basically you need the Black Goat. I mean, it's definitely quite the challenge. I think Yog-Sothoth is a little bit like
adding variety. Yeah.
No, but Yog-Sothoth is a little bit more like what did you say the other one was called?
Hastur.
I think they're a little bit more similar. I don't know if it's the luck of the draw of the cards as well and the way that they came out, but he just seemed a lot easier.
Well, the first time we played against Yog-Sothoth, I would agree, the cards were really in our favor. I think we didn't have even any advancement on Yog-Sothoth until almost 6 Mythos cards in. So
not the first time. The second round of cards we pulled.
Yeah, we did very well against him, and he was still challenging though. The fact the way his gates move around the board and things like that, I think it's
we had him figured out. I think
he was definitely a lot more solvable than the Black Goat, who I found, especially with those Dark Youngs. Just you got to keep him under control, otherwise things go very awry. I thought we were talking about season 2, but we're continuing on about the other ones. It's all good. But I was using the hero Luke, who I don't love all of his stuff, but his ability to ignore monster abilities, man, that was clutch against the Black Goat. Because there's a few times I'm like, oh man, I'm going to attack these guys, and the Dark Guns are going to make more of them. And then I was like, wait, I get to ignore all monster abilities. Awesome.
So to talk about season 2, I did like the scenario. I liked the campfire scenario. I thought that one was different. The bank vault was difficult. Probably one of the hardest scenarios that we did. I found at least.
I agree with you. So we've played through about half of season 2. We've also played through a lot of season 1. We're almost actually through all the content. Well, besides what's in the Unspeakable box. So it's definitely cool. It gives us enough of a perspective to actually, do this review after playing the game a significant amount. And I agree with you. I really like the scenarios on this. I actually really like the bank vault. I found it very difficult. I think the randomness is a little too high. I think they probably should have had only 2 types of resources. I think having 3, I found it just to be a definite pain in the butt.
Yeah, I mean, I also enjoyed the one where...
Well, that's right. The first time we fought the Black Goat was in the bank vault, and then we fought him in the woods.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah, we changed the scenario. We also played the version where the scenario where we were basically trying to figure out which one of the Monseigneur or the sister or whatever were guilty. Mm-hmm. And that one also was interesting. I found it's a different dynamic, and I thought it was interesting to have to investigate, or I guess you could be forced at one point to have to try to guess, and you could murder the wrong one. Actually, we saw the Mythos card that could make you
reshuffle
everything and be a devastating blow. But I thought that honestly the scenarios in this were a lot of fun.
And that's one thing that I will say is we played through the first 4 or 5 scenarios now, and while there is definitely a lot of variety in terms of setup and what you're trying to do, I did feel that the scenarios in season 2 almost took it to another level, whereas it's kind of cool. You're in the first game you're running around grabbing different things to get certain things to disrupt the ritual. Like with this, the investigation, the bank vault, needing to break into the vault to disrupt the ritual. It does feel like they had a little bit more fun and creativity when they got to season 2. So if you do like the variability of the scenarios in season 1, you're going to get a lot of that in season 2.
My favorite character is still probably in season 1 with the kid, but there was a couple of interesting characters in this one as well.
That's a perfect segue to talk about the characters, actually.
There's a couple of more support characters, as we figured out, that were interesting. I really like to play with the characters that have the mystic arts. That's what I like to play with, and there's a couple different ones that are a little bit stronger, I guess, but they're some are more support. I guess what I would say, and I think we said it with the last Cthulhu, and I don't think it really has changed, you have to pick your characters well, because if you're going to play 2 players, you can't have a support character. You need to be able to have some firepower or some fight, otherwise you're going to get stuck basically and not likely survive.
You can definitely succeed and have a lot of fun, do a lot of damage as a support character, but it will all depend on your discovery cards. Get the right gear, you'll be fine. However, if you're spending a significant amount of the game really rolling 3 or 5 dice and things aren't going your way, it's going to be very challenging. Whereas characters that have brawling, marksman, and as you level it up, there was one of the missions we literally only won because I grabbed basically every monster on the board, pulled them into one room, and used a brawling technique that ended up annihilating everything. And I just cleared the path for your character to come finish it off.
There was different, the different characters with the Mystic Arts. I didn't ever really play with one that didn't have it. The ones that tend to have marksman as well, or something else that adds to it, can be pretty powerful, because then you're using the arcane power basically to boost up your number of successes that you're getting from the extra dice that you're getting from marksman or something like that.
No, and that's actually a good segue too. Sorry, keep going.
So I found that fun.
No, but that's also a good segue. We should talk about some of the monsters we face in the box. Now, last thing I think we'd want to say about the characters. I find that this box has a lot more of the support characters, as you said. I don't know how well all of them will play in a two-player scenario. We did fairly well with characters like Tony and Adilla. I definitely think that the best all-around character in here, in my opinion, is Adilla. But all the other ones are fun, especially if you're mixing them in with the characters you have in the base game, which is like right over there. Mm-hmm. You'll find some great combos. But if you're playing two players, I'd probably stick with the characters from the base game more than these ones. So, Julie, tell us about the monsters. I mean, there was that one that particularly liked to take advantage of your mystic arts.
I can't even remember which one that is. We've played so many different versions of this.
I believe that was the Star Vampire, the one with the...
Yes. That every time that you rolled a star, that basically it would hurt you back.
Yes.
Yes, I did not like that one. I left that one for you to attack with your gun.
Yes, but you do get a lot of variety of monsters. You get the Chochos, which are the new base monsters that go alongside with the cultists. Lots of variety, different abilities, different things that you're going to be dealing with. And I think they add a lot of variety to the game. Now, one thing I would like to see maybe in the future, and it's something that... would be an easy expansion for CMON to do. I'd love to just get some like randomizers for the monsters, just like randomizer cards, so that after you play through all the scenarios, you could just deal out the monsters and then sort of have an instruction to say, hey, when you're setting up the board,
that could
do
end
this,
up being really dangerous.
Oh, it could be, but like I said, that's why I'd like it as like an extra pack of cards that you can use later on. It's not an expansion that's necessary. There's plenty of variety. Every game plays differently, even when you're playing the same scenarios and their characters change it up a lot. It would just be fun to be like, all right, what's going on? Oh, Star Vampire and Fire Vampire. Uh-oh.
So you ready to give it a rating?
I'm ready to give it a rating. So I'll let you go first, as we always do on the channel. Well, not always, most of the time, 90%.
So I'm going to give this a solid 7.5.
I'm going to give it a 7. Well, the way I look at it is...
7 and what, a quarter?
No. I give Season 2 a 7.5 because it's missing the Elder ones. If they were all put together, I would give it an 8. So this is 7.5. I almost think that these expansions are... So we took a little trip into the void as we were discussing the ratings of Yog-Sothoth and the Black Goat of the Woods. Sorry about that. We used too much juice while we were discussing the game. So, in any case, done our best to cut it in. What I was saying is that I believe that these are 8s, and I think that you want to get these the 2 Elder One boxes before you get Season 2. If you really want more scenarios, then I would go with Death May Die, but I do believe that they've got a little bit more of a competitive price point, easier to pick up, and they'll add a lot of variety to your base game.
And are they sold together?
No, they are sold separately.
So then this one definitely is, if you're going to buy one of the two, I would go with this one.
Yes.
And I would also say, and I think we've said it, you were saying if you want to add variety, I think this, like we said, just to reiterate, these scenarios really are a step above.
No, the scenarios are fantastic. This for a cheaper price, get more variety for the base game as well as Season 2. But Season 2, I do think is something that you should pick up because the scenarios are fantastic. I do think the scenarios are a step above. Just would have rather had something that had, all of this in one box.
You're getting picky now.
Hey, we've got a collection. I need to curate the collection. Also, I need to store games. I mean, everything in a box. I mean, This does fit in the unspeakable box, which is cool, but this has no home. It's killing me. It's killing me.
Okay. So I think it's time
Yes.
to remind you that you can like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when we have some new content for you.
Also, down below in the video description, you can find links to all of our social media feeds. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You want to see pictures of us playing Cthulhu Death May Die Season 2, Cthulhu Death May Die, and eventually the big Riley Rising. I don't know if his feet are in the shot, probably not, but you'll see us playing with the big Cthulhu that is bigger than a kid. Well, a small kid.
Bit of baby.
Yeah.
So there'll also be links popping up, probably one to the base game.
Yes, once again, there will be a link to the base game, our review, and how to play. And another one will take you to our most recent release. So, with that being said, Julie, what time is it now?
It's time to grab our drinks.
Grab our best friend.
We're going to keep playing games.
We're going to keep playing games.
I have a feeling we'll be playing more Cthulhu.
You know, it's interesting because we've played a lot of Zombicide. It still comes out to the table. This has hit the table more often than Zombicide. It's a theme that I would say that we like less, just in general. We're not like the huge Cthulhu people, but the gameplay brings it back to the table on a regular basis.